Juventini, I'm tired. Juventini, I am exhausted. This Juve is totally crazy. But this Juve has a huge, big heart like that. And I'm really grateful for that. But on the other side, it's also one of their weaknesses to have a heart big like that. But playing like that, yesterday, Inter at midterm, long term, it's absolutely not sustainable. And pay attention, before celebrating that Juve, because I'm already starting to read it from casual fans that are saying, oh, I love that Juve, because I was used to a Juve winning 1-0. Pay attention, because we already went to this game in a recent past. We already went to this emotion not that long time ago, and I will reveal you why in a second. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. It will not be a usual tactical video. We started in 25-26 with emotional videos, with important message that we want to underline, to put in bold, to put in big, to speak about, like flashes of the games, individualities, Tudor, tops, flops, advices at the end of the video. That's what we'll do in today's video. Guys, the front pages are describing it easily. 1. Juve da pazzi on Corriere dello Sport. Ci pensa lui. He is thinking about it. He is solving it with Locatelli that is showing, pointing finger to Dusan Vlahovic. And then sì, è una Juve da amare. Yes, it is a Juve that you want to love on Tutto Sport. It's totally correct, because this Juve, the Juve of Igor Tudor, that is not perfect, well, you want to love it. And there, I am totally agreeing with the first pages. On the other side, I tell you, I'm too old for this. I'm way too old for this. Seriously, what happened yesterday, what happened against Dortmund is not normal. What happened against Inter is not the norm. It's not something that you can see every single week. I'm too old to change opinion on that particular thing. I love an entertaining 4-3. But I prefer a 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 clean sheet where you're managing the game, where you're stronger than the other one. That's what I love the most in football. No, I don't like a 4-4 like I didn't like the 4-4 against Inter last season. I don't like a 0-0 neither, because that means that you are playing a game where you're losing some points. So it's too old for me. I'm too old for changing, and I will not celebrate that game like I would celebrate a win. But yesterday was a total roller coaster of emotion. We'll go through that, but before that, it was also personally a roller coaster of emotion, because you did it, guys. We did it all together, thanks to all the Juventini of the world. Yesterday, we reached, and we even went over the 40,000 Juventini of the world on this channel. So if you want to continue to support and achieving next steps, and you know what is the next step? Virtually, with every single person of the GJustjuve community filling the Allianz Stadium, it's the moment to continue to put a maximum of like, to subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all of you sincerely. But that's not why we are here. We are here to speak about Juve, and that's what we will do. Yesterday was, again, absolute cinema. And I know that the casuals, the crazy people are starting to speak about Juve. Look at that Juve, look, fantastic, beautiful, fantastic. But we went already through all these emotions, if I am not wrong, not long time ago. Do you remember? Last October, we are speaking about 11 months ago, Leipzig 2, Juventus 3, with that crazy remontada with 10 men, with that goal of Conceição, with Thiago Motta jumping in the air, hugging everyone. It was a total beautiful victory, like we can compare a bit with the Inter victory of Saturday. Do you remember then in the same month of October 2024, we went with a crazy 4-2 loss before double brace of Kenan Yildiz going towards a 4-4 against Inter. Yesterday we were losing by 2 goals before the 4-4 with Dusan Vlahovic brace. We already went through these emotions last year, so don't go too fast with it's a total different Juve. It's a Juve that we love. It's an attacking Juve. Calma. Because history is sometimes repeating. We are living again. We need to learn now, because we already have the experience of what happened last year. The good thing, of course, is that in Leipzig last year, we had 3 players with huge injuries. The ribs of Koop, Bremer, end of season with the ACL, but also Nico Gonzalez that we were losing. And Nico Gonzalez that did well the games before. We never really found him back. So now we have no injuries. We can continue to work, and that's a really beautiful news that can possibly change the Juve of Tudor 25-26. Guys, yesterday was a boring first half. Yes, when you come from Inter, win a game like Inter, yesterday was a really boring first half. Did he miss the lineup, Igor Tudor? We can discuss about it. We can say yes, we can say no, especially if you know that the people that entered from the bench were again decisive. So did he really miss that lineup? Well, I tell you that yesterday, I'm not sure if he missed the lineup. We can speak about Cope, we can speak about the individuals, but I'm not that sure that he missed the lineup, because what I was watching was a lot of technical errors where players were not able to put 2-3 passes in a row. And that's a problem not from Tudor. It's a player, it becomes a problem of Tudor, but it's not because of Tudor. That's on the players to blame individually that are not in the game, focused, some players that are sleepy, not alert, doing individual mistakes, not precise. That was one of the things that I was blaming like that first half. Like I'm also blaming Juve to be scared, because yesterday we were scared. I made yesterday, and I compared a bit with a story telling you it looked like you are a driver with 20 years of experience and you go for the first time in a Formula 1 car, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, whatever, and you are scared to push that pedal because you are scared to lose control. And that's what we saw yesterday. What are the mistakes of Tudor? Not that much the man that he's chosen, but probably, and that's what Luca Monblano, that is a really great expert of football, was telling me, Beppe, you know what he missed? It was not that much the man. It was actually the position of Openda and Jonathan David. Because if you want to play with a 2-1, another 1-2 like we didn't see yesterday, then it's Openda that needs to cover the position of Jonathan David there on the right side. With Jonathan David, it is more a 9 than what Openda thinks about himself, because the movements were not correct yesterday. So that's what we are blaming in the first half, where we canceled Dortmund with only 0.07 expected goal, but we nullified ourselves as well. And then you have that crazy cinema that is starting, never happened, or it happened just one time before Bayern game that was totally crazy last season with 8 goals in a half. Well, it happened yesterday again for the second time ever in Champions League edition, 8 goals in one half only. We concede immediately with the first shot on target, and that's something that we need to solve. It's not possible to always concede at the first shot on target. We cannot. So pay attention to that. And then you have the game that is changing. And that's where I think that this team has a huge, big heart like that, which is a benefit, but also a problem. Why the benefit? Why are the beautiful things that we need to learn? It's a team that refuses to lose. It's a team that refuses to be down. It's a team that when they feel that we are losing a game, they are like their coach. They want to give everything for it. They go, they push, they think forward, they start to dare. They don't want to give up, which is fantastic, because at the end, that's how we won against Inter. At the end, this is how we draw yesterday against Dortmund. So congratulations, that's beautiful. You give me again that belief that you're never giving up. Brava Juve, bravo Tudor. But on the other side, what is the problem of doing that? That you're not thinking anymore. You don't have the control over the game anymore. You are not organized and structured. You had the time of your world to come back yesterday, and then you see it on the 1-1. And that's one of the huge mistakes, because today we are blaming Di Gregorio, we're blaming this. We need to blame the entire team, because it's not normal that they took away from me the emotions of that goal of Kenan Yildiz. You cannot start again and concede immediately the second goal with everyone that is still dreaming. This is not Juve, guys. This is not a sign of a mature team that is able to manage games of Champions League or Serie A. This is something that they need to come back and work on a lot. That's the most annoying one from the 7 goals that we conceded in the last 2 games. Because the goal of Yildiz, ragazzi, is art. It's magic. It's something that is bringing nostalgia but hope for the future. What a jewel that we have. Look, yesterday I was thinking to myself, I said, that was exactly what I was praying for, wishing for my son, to witness a player like him, after me witnessing an Alessandro Del Piero from the first day of debut when he entered instead of Ravanelli at the 93, it was 1993, until the last game that he played. I was there. I watched every single second. I enjoyed every single second of Del Piero. Well, yesterday I was proud to say that my son will be able to witness Kenan Yildiz. Not only my son, but also you guys, some of you that didn't witness the greatness of Alessandro Del Piero. Magic, that goal. And you know what was really funny, ironic, that the game before, after Inter, he's asked why did he do a shy linguaccia, the tongue celebration. He said because Del Piero remains my main idol. He is my idol. I love it so much, but now I need to start being Yildiz. I need to start doing my own. And he's totally correct on that. But then 3 days later, he's doing the most Del Piero-esque thing that you could have imagined. Not even dreaming about. Scoring against Dortmund a goal a la Del Piero, because it's against Dortmund that goal sees the light for the very first time. Incredible. Incredible. It was written, guys. It's written. It's written for me. I would love to be cautious. I would love to say, no, calma, tranquilli. Oh, game after game after game after game. He's showing us that it looks like they have the same destiny. They have the same destiny. It's written. He's doing one thing after the other that is the exact same as Del Piero. Guys, it's too late to hide it. We cannot hide it anymore. Let's see what the future will tell. But that was a beautiful goal that I'm pissed off with the team that they took me away that emotion. I couldn't even enjoy that goal because while we were watching the replay, we could see that second goal. And then the game is changing. The game is changing with Tudor disputing Dusan Vlahovic in. He enters. He's changing the game. He's changing not only the game, the result, but he's also changing probably his own future at Juventus. At least the one of this season for sure. Next season we will see what will happen. But he's changing the history of the game. His own destiny. A fantastic, beautiful first goal. That intelligence of slowing down before running, and also that intelligence of Yildiz to wait, understanding that he could have been offside, wait a bit before giving that fantastic, most beautiful assist of match day 1 in Champions League so far. Bravo Dusan, bravo Yildiz on that 2-2. We concede again. We concede again, we concede a fourth goal again, and that's where Juventus go totally crazy with the subs, of course, of Tudor. We go with that 3-2. With Dusan, that I don't know against who he was fighting, I don't know. There he should have gone with taking the ball. Then at the end it's Aziz that is taking the ball. Instead of fighting, it's a pity. But then, guy, can you say something bad about Dusan Vlahovic yesterday? No. You know, he loves to write on Instagram, the number 9. Yesterday he deserved a number 9. A huge big number 9 as a rating. I would have loved to put a 10, but I know how much he loves that number 9. So yesterday it's a huge big number 9 because that assist for Kelly that it comes out of nowhere. Some people will say, hey, it's magia, it's magia. Yesterday, man of the match by far, Dusan Vlahovic. What a performance, what a game from Dusan Vlahovic, that when he's coming from the bench, he's stronger than Holland, than Mbappe, than Cristiano Ronaldo, that Pelé, that Maradona. He's the best striker of the world, like coming from the bench in 25-26. That assist for Kelly, what I told you, looks like he's coming from nowhere. No, it was planned. And that's where I want to give the maximum of credits to Tudor for that goal. Because when I was younger, I remember a Coppa Italia game against Venezia where Tudor, Zidane goes out, 68th minute, Tudor is entering, Marcello Lippi is putting Tudor in, and he's telling him, you are center forward today. You're center forward today, and he plays as a center forward. So probably he was thinking about it, because in that game of Coppa Italia, at the 88th minute, there is a penalty. Won by who? By Igor Tudor, that Fonseca is scoring at the end. Bravo, Igor Tudor is thinking about that nostalgia, that epopea in 98 with Marcello Lippi. And that is saying to Kelly, because watch Kelly from actually the kickoff of the 4-3 after the goal of Dusan Vlahovic. Watch where he is. Go back and watch it. Because immediately he's playing for the last 3-4 minutes as a striker. So it's not coming out of nowhere. He was there with the intention to score. At least that was Tudor what asking him, and he's doing it in a perfect way. Bravo to Kelly. Kelly, 2 goals in a row. 1 in Serie A against Inter, 1 in Champions League, and what an important one in Champions League. Credit for Tudor for a lot of things. I tell you, I will repeat you, he is absolutely not perfect at today. Starting 11, I already told you, was not perfect, but what can you do? What can you do more than what we already spoke about? Then Tudor calling out the referee was something beautiful. It means that Juventus is changing. Pay attention, because there are some new images about that penalty not given to Juve that are actually showing that it was not a penalty. And because the video is long, I will let you go yourself and watching it, but pay attention, it's not a penalty. But anyway, the fact that Juventus is speaking out is already enough for me. After Comoli, it's Tudor that is speaking in front of microphone, so bravo. And then the subs that are decisive again, as he loves to repeat, there are no starters. Everyone rotates because everyone is as important, and probably the players that are entering are much more important than the starters. That the team is tired, he knows it, he spoke about it, we all know about it. Yildiz was on his knees. Bremer at 50% probably should not have played more than 45 minutes. He was extremely tired yesterday. You see it at the last minute, and he couldn't even track back, so it was extremely difficult. And with him at 50%, it's the entire defense that is also suffering. Now, the flops, the tops, and the advice. Flops, Di Gregorio. Di Gregorio is, of course, the first name that I want to put there, but according to me, not the biggest flop, and I will surprise you. Di Gregorio, of course, if in 2 games you are conceding 7 goals, you need to be there. You need to be there into the flops. It is what it is. Now pay attention, because we are looking at one person to blame. This is the new trend. Let's blame someone. No. It's much more than that. It's the team that in 2 games were not able to do some filter. Bravo to the works of Alessandro Del Piero. And if you really want to look for one player that has put Juventus in difficulty, not only Thuram, because he was also one of the worst one, Cope manners, and that's not new, unfortunately. But can we speak about Cambiaso? Cambiaso, that has been and I said it yesterday immediately during the game, after the game, I told you, according to me, is one of the biggest disappointment of the games of yesterday, because not only he was a ghost, not only he did a lot of mistakes, not only he was the first one to lose focus when he was about to receive that pass from Yildiz, but also didn't help enough that side where Kelly is. And then it's easy to blame the defender, the last man, or the goalkeeper. But if we are not helping, if we are not ready to help, to sacrifice for a team until the end, we have a problem. We have a real problem. So Cambiaso is in the flops together with Di Gregorio. I have put, indeed, Thuram there as well, Koopman, that needs continuity, but we need more than giving him continuity. We need some answers that we are all waiting for. It's time to give answers. And then, yes, the trio from the start is a good idea, but it doesn't work if we are not pushing, because this is a team that is made to play. What are the tops? Dusan Vlahovic is receiving the crown today. Of course, Dusan Vlahovic, but also, and listen really well, Dusan already said, Joao Mario, Locatelli, how he entered as a Capitano, nobody will speak about it, but I tell you, underrated how he entered yesterday. Dzegrova. I would love to speak about Dzegrova, but we have no time. Let me come back on Dzegrova. What the player did I bring you? What the player did I bring you? Attenzione. And then Adzic. Look at the 5 players I told you, because there are 5 players that are entering from the bench. So who is receiving the credit for that? It's Tudor, because he's right when he's saying that the players that are entering from the bench are probably more decisive as the ones that are starting in modern football. The advice, the warning is, if we know that the team is tired, like he knew because he was already anticipating it, well, avoid crazy 96-minute comebacks, because we'll not be able to keep it long. The pace is impossible to keep. Ragazzi, if you enjoyed that video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.